Gamers, what's going on? Is Dom here, back once again on this early Monday morning. Total Extreme Wrestling 9 has been announced. And so we're getting a demo also fairly soon. So let's go into it and just talk about it. I know it's been a while since I've even got to play a TEW game, honestly. There's been just a lot going on in the realm of wrestling between, of course, WWE, AEW. Honestly, AEW was just a baby if you think about it when TW 2020 came out. So, of course, pandemic. So, I mean, we've had a lot go on since TW 2020 to where we're at now. All of the other wrestling games, good and bad in between. And I'm excited to see what is the next iteration of Total Extreme Wrestling going to bring. The big one being is that it's not TW 2024. You can see here is that it's going to be TEW IX, TW9. I'm excited because then the next one after that's going to be TWX, We're going to that naming convention there. The licensing situation will still be the QLM license system. It's still the more convenient system for them than the old e-license. Me personally, I think it's time the game should be, it has enough popularity, it should be on Steam. Maybe this means that TW 2020 will then be on Steam. I think 2016 is on Steam. So usually like the newest game isn't on Steam and then the previous one is, but I think it's time that it should just be a full jump to having it on Steam also. It kind of puts the market and the game in a little bit of a bubble almost. And I think you can pop it and expand it a bit more with Steam. But that's nonetheless here or there. You still really want the game, you can pick it up. We can only speculate right now what the price is going to be, but I would imagine it'll still be around the same as TW 2020 and 2016 there. So because that's not brought up here yet. Will you be able to continue your TW 2020 saves? No, sadly, is that they're two separate products, but there will be a converter for 2020 databases, and that'll be helpful. So when the demo comes out, we can convert the saves over the worlds. I should say actually the databases over, and then you can try that out for the demo. I believe usually demo lasts it's like 2 weeks to a whole month in the game. So, and it's like the very start. It's like January usually, if I remember correctly. So, developer journal starts today. Now, I'm not going to cover like every single day of the developer journal. I think we'll do like within like big like moments here and there. And of course, this being the big announcement video here, we'll talk about that. And then at the very end of the development journal, I imagine, here it is, Saturday, July 27th. So it's like right around the corner, really, if you think about it. It's the start of July now. So at the end of July, we'll have the beta, and then a week later, we'll have the full release. So yeah, we're going to probably get a lot of development journals going on, and then of course get our hands on it here at the end of the month. It says, is this entirely new game? Don't reinvent the wheel, just build upon it. And I think that is great because TW 2016 and 20, they like kind of felt hand in hand, like one's like the alternative. Now with TW 2020, I think it'll be like the stepping stone above. What we would have TW9 be like that stepping stone and improve upon what TW 2020 gave us. So there'd be a Mac version. No, it's Windows based only. Will I meet the minimum requirements? Most likely it's, I think the joke is a glorified text simulator or spreadsheet simulator. So it's like, you could probably run, I imagine, nowadays. What time will the release be to avoid a large spike in traffic? We ain't going to tell you. So welcome to the first day of the developers journal here. We've got over 200 items to go through in only 4 weeks to do it. So it works so that every weekday between now, just journal today. So different previous journal that every day will be consistent multiple reveals rather than concentrating just one. There's no particular order to reveals, but it's gonna sprinkle in several more minor reveals to each day, then give a long list. So this first big one here is the booking team and creative energy and ideas. Each company can now optionally have a booking team up to 5 people. The team leaders assist the head booker in carrying out their ideas. I can just imagine right now you're booking WCW and you're like, give me a team. You got Eric Bischoff, you got Vince Russo. You might as well just throw in Kevin Nash, Kevin Sullivan, and have Dusty Rhodes in there. And it's just like they're all throwing ideas at you. What an environment to be a part of. I can only imagine. So, see, at the start of the night of the show, the booking team meets. Even it's just the head booker working alone. So I imagine, you could be like, I'm just me by myself. Or you could, assemble the squad there. Each member is rated on their booking skill and generates a new concept to the game creative energy, CE. The higher the skill level and better the team work together, the greater the levels of CE, though we will generate some CEs automatically spent on the show to fill their creative requirements of putting on a wrestling event. The longer the show is, the more CEs are required, with a penalty incurred to your final show rating if you don't have enough. Whatever CEs left over is banked and can either have to be saved to be used on future shows or spent on creative ideas. So I see you're probably going to sound like you're going to get a penalty here if you don't have enough of that. Creative input, what was it called? It's like CE, creative energy. Yeah. The booking team is a high-pressured environment or act as a hothouse. Relationships tend to act as on steroids with people who normally be mildly friendly, really bonding, and people who normally be slightly antagonistic and becoming enemies. And that means that you can, while you can your booking team with lots of members in order to try and generate more CE, you run the risk of creating more drama, have a chaotic booking team, playing politics, would take quite a large amount if you kick them off the team. So you have to be careful about who you select. Keeping a close eye on the personalities involved and existing relationships is key. Smaller teams have the disadvantage that they don't have as many people contributing, but easier to manage, of course. Find a balanced team. It could be a great boon for a company versus dysfunctional and cause a lot of issues. So that's pretty much your WCW, there versus like booking like AEW is probably a fun example too nowadays. If you had like the Bucks chiming in, you had Punk chime in, Tony Khan's doing his thing, whoever else you want to bring in there. Or versus if you're like a really like a small indie company and you're like, all right, maybe like this guy from catering, this commentator or something, we're not having like your Jeff Jarrett be like, put the title on me. So going back to creative ideas, they're essentially purchasable booking aids that can be deployed to give certain effects. The available choices are creative finishes, angle ideas, gimmicks, ideas, storyline ideas, and character ideas. Each costs a certain amount of CE and can be used in the game. For example, we just deploy a fish, we get a road agent note, big match to try and boost the rating a little bit more. And okay. I don't want to beat this one too much to death, but this is a huge one here to really discuss. Overall, these features work together to better suit the backstage politics of wrestling, make the locker room environment more vibrant, give some fun extra mini games to help you feel more like you're sitting in the booker's chair. I like that. Seems like a lot of fun right there. We have the worker ideas. Tiny the creative ideas feature creatively minded workers on roster now come up with their own ideas, automatically give added to your arsenal of stored ideas. You don't have to purchase these, they come for free, but naturally restricted to being used on the worker alone. So like, someone comes up, Hulk Hogan's like, I want a leg dropping brother. 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? So it's like only that finish. Of course, if a worker comes to you with a creative finish that just happens to be restricted to only being used when he wins, that does mean you might have to change your booking plans, like I said. New attributes also be added to the game so you can have more and less creative workers can be simulated. That's going to be pretty important there. The attribute system tying into all of this, of course. Locking the child production values. You can lock the child production values for your child companies, your development companies there. We have the backdrops, stable backdrops, line backdrops, brand logos, and backdrops. Many people like the GIF picture packs that allow custom backdrops to appear behind a worker's picture in-game. Previously, it was limited to just being the company logo, but this has now been expanded to allow custom backdrops for a specific company, stable, alliance, and brands. That's awesome. I love it. I love it so much. Product narratives. By request, several new narratives have been added to allow a company's product to be updated, evolved over time to match reality. This is particularly useful for those making historical databases. Random broadcasting slot length by request. Database makers can now set broadcasting contracts to have random lengths. So we have a lot going on here with CW9, and I'm excited. So like I said, we'll see what happens when we can actually get our hands on this game. I'm not going to beat it to death every single day doing a recap for the development journal, but if I see something like really crazy, or like, we'll review it every couple days, as we're leading up, we'll talk about it here. So with that being said, tell me, what do you guys think about TW9 being released? Are you still playing TW 2020? Have you moved on to something else? Are you still playing TW 2016? Hell, tell me if you're playing like EWR or something. I would love to hear it down below. Of course, y'all know what to do. Help out the good old channel algorithm. Not the easiest thing making these, videos, because they are very niche, and that's why I mentioned, it's good to expand the horizons here, and hopefully TW 2020 does come to Steam, and TW9, well, it may not, it sounds like, hopefully this still is the possibility, of course, but we will see y'all next time. All right, peace out, gamers.